But if they give up a 17-point lead like they did against the Highlanders, there will be no way back against the Lions at Ellis Park on the Highveld. Here are 5 things we learned from their 30-23 win over the Highlanders. Packing a punch in the lead-up to last week's quarterfinal, Waratahs loose head Tom Robertson said the following about their scrum: "Our scrum's improving," Robertson told foxsports.com.au. "At the start of the year we had a few up-and-down games and our consistency wasn't there, but I think after June, especially, working with Tolu Latu and KEPU, a lot more has definitely helped. When Tolu comes on midway through or at the end of the game he demolishes people. It's good to be on the field when Tolu's there and Keps is world-class." Robertson's comments were intriguing for a number of reasons, but perhaps most of all because Latu hasn't started a match all year, with Damien Fitzpatrick instead preferred for the number 2 jersey. That is expected to change for this week's semi-final against the Lions. Waratahs coach Daryl Gibson is well aware of the threat the Lions' scrum poses. Live stream the 2018 Super Rugby Finals on Fox Sports. Sign up now. Greater than Damien Fitzpatrick has started every match for the Waratahs in 2018. Source: Getty Images. They have one of the most dominant scrums in the game, and in the past 2 weeks have forced 6 scrum penalties against typically strong set-piece sides, the Bulls and Jaguares. In contrast, the Waratahs conceded 1 scrum penalty against the Highlanders in the 33rd minute. Yet, they managed to hold firm, packing down with 7 men late in the second half following Paddy Ryan's yellow card when Latu was in the front row alongside Robertson and KEPU. "Yeah, I think so," said Gibson, in response to whether he was considering starting Latu. "We've been sharing time there, 40 minutes each, and it's really just for continuity that we've been starting with Fitzy, but I guess the 2 teams we are likely to come up against, whether it's home or away, are both very physical and that'll be a consideration with our decision-making. Malcolm Marx is the world's best hooker." Source: Getty Images. Clearing out the trash. The other important thing to consider is Latu's impact on the ball, particularly given that the man wearing the number 2 jersey for the Lions, Malcolm Marx, is one of the best in the world at the breakdown. Latu is exceptional on the ball. The Waratahs were demolished at the breakdown during the first half against the Highlanders last week, and Latu's first impression on the game after coming on at halftime was to win a breakdown penalty inside the first 90 seconds of the second half. Read more: The heroes and highlights of Waratahs win for the ages. Read more: The mission statement behind emotional win be having Latu and back row pair Will Miller and Michael Wells in the starting side. The Waratahs have multiple threats over the ball across the field, and the benefit of that is slowing down your opponent's ball. It's no surprise that when the Waratahs secured kickball at the breakdown, they got over the advantage line 76% of the time in the second half compared to 53% in the first half. Their quick ball in the second half also saw them make 4 line breaks compared to just 1 in the first half. TAH's address: Poor starts 047 target practice. The final aspect to the hooking role not discussed yet is the all-important line-out throw. Fitzpatrick was faultless earlier in the year, but in the past 2 weeks it's gone astray. The Brumbies picked apart his throw with towering locking duo Rory and Richie Arnold and 2-test forward Blake Eniver having a field day during the final round of the regular season. Against the Highlanders, the throw wasn't much better, with both Fitzpatrick and Latu struggling with their throws. Against the Lions, the Waratahs must be more accurate. In Franco Mostert, the Lions have one of the best line-out jumpers in the world. The Waratahs will be sweating on the fitness of test lock Rob Simmons. Simmons left the field after copping a head knock last week, but is expected to be fit to take his place. During the Waratahs' quarterfinal win, Simmons' importance to the side was summed up by former Super Rugby winner Stephen Hoyles, who said the veteran lock had turned the side's line-out around. Standing square, it took until the yellow card of Waisake Naholo for the Waratahs to start straightening their line of attack. Against the Brumbies and for the first 50 minutes against the Highlanders, the Waratahs were guilty of playing lateral in attack. Everything was geared to Takelene Rivoro's left wing, and consequently, the Waratahs' attack was shut down. Not one of the Waratahs back were straightening the line of attack. They desperately needed a player like Adam Ashley Cooper did for a decade that would run that hard line back through the middle. Perhaps it was the brilliant line Highlanders outside centre Rob Thompson ran when he scored in the 24th minute that showed the Waratahs the way forward. When Lee Beale began to jump into first receiver and attack the line, the game changed. The inside centre didn't score with his first or second effort when running to the line, but on his third attempt he stepped back off his right foot, turned Highlanders hooker Liam Coleman inside out, before stepping back on his left and offloading to Foley to score. The Waratahs playmakers need to be standing square to the defensive line more than they have been against the Lions. So Poaga skins the TAH's 048 head and stick it ready for a cricket score. Only the Crusaders, 82, have scored more tries than the Lions, 81, and Waratahs, 77, in 2018. Both teams sit in the middle of the road on the defensive front too, with the Lions conceding 57 tries and the Waratahs 62, as Gibson said post-match last weekend, though. It was the Waratahs' second-half shutout of the Highlanders that saw them progress through to the semi-finals, as much as "We laud our attack, defense won us the game tonight," Gibson said. "It was really our first step shots that were missing last week, in a loss to the Brumbies, and our intent was much better, our behaviours getting off the line, so a marked improvement. This week we showed up. The Waratahs will have to repeat their second-half effort to beat the Lions." Undoubtedly the Lions will attack Navaravo's left wing. The gigantic winger came up with the match-turning play early in the second half when he intercepted a cutout pass from Aaron Smith on his own goal line and got the Waratahs out of trouble by reaching the halfway line. But there's no doubt the Lions will attack his wing again. The departing winger almost always comes rushing out of his defensive line, and it'll be vital that he stays out wide as long as possible. Key to that will be the likes of Beale and Curtis Rona making their first-step tackles and not falling off them like they did against the Brumbies. They must hit and stick or else the Lions will stampede all over the Waratahs.